Again, it's 3 something or 4, I don't know. 4:30, geez. When I sit down, it's 3. That's what happens when you're painting, though, right? 80 degrees with heavy thunderstorms here, so I don't know how long I will be on. Uh, what was I looking for? Oh, yeah, the invite guests thing. Also, if you see the image of the live stream, you'll notice it's baptism of fire. I have been doing some couple videos on that, just you know, getting it out there. Mainly because I did the video explaining why I liked it, and apparently I didn't say um, Mad Scribe. I said like Mad Musing or Mad Mage or whatever. So I had to correct that. It's Mad Scribe. Um, and then another guy wanted me to, dude, put me on the spot, but I don't mind. He wanted me to explain exactly why I think uh, the game is better than any other OSR. And since his idea was you could play a game set in Poland or whatever with any OSR game, so why bother, right? So I made a video explaining to him that it's not that easy. You know what I mean? Western Slavic culture is not the same thing as Western European culture. And status and family are a huge thing, like super huge. And other OSRs just simply do not um, reflect that. Hey, what's up, Saxes? How you doing, homie? Hope everything's doing good in Daneland. So when people are like, well, I can play games set in a Slavic world with OSE, you can. But unless you're playing a fantastical Slavic land, which knock yourself out. I've done that. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, you're going to probably miss out on a lot of the depth and I would say immersion that comes with a game where every part of the game is designed to make the setting seem more realistic. What's up, Crafting Gamer? How you doing? So now some people can say I'm wrong, and you know what? They have the right. And I'm not even going to argue the point. I mean, if you don't think Baptism of Fire does a good job at what it's supposed to do, um, I would just say, well, okay. I mean, nobody's got to buy it. That's the thing. I don't even know. Like, I think occasionally I'll say, hey, if you want to play in a Slavic game that actually feels Slavic, this is the game. But if you don't give a shit about Slavic culture, Kiev and Rus, etc., then just keep playing wherever you're playing, man. That's all. And of course, the new book, which I got, The Last Vikings, really good book, and it touches on the Kievan Rus, the House of Rorik, Vladimir and Yaropolk, and the Christianization of the Russians and all of that. So yeah, I mean, you can always just you could play a game set in Kiev, you know, that region. I mean, I know in modern day, everybody's like, wanting to, like, I was listening to somebody, this is a little bit of a rant. I was listening to somebody say Kiev the other day, and they kept calling it Kiev. And I'm like, Kiev? Uh, what in the nine hells is Kiev? When did Kiev get built? Like were the rulers of Kiev? Because I can tell you right now, the name of that city is Kiev. It's Kiev. It's always been Kiev. It was Kiev under the Viking House of Rurik. It was Kiev under Imperial Russia. It was Kiev under the USSR. So it can't just be Kiev. Screw that. I refuse. I refuse to acknowledge it as, Kiev. Plus, Kiev sounds stupid. It's kind of like how Zelensky changed how he spelled his name because he didn't want to have his name spelled the same way as Vladimir. Yeah, they're trying to pretend that the Kiev and Rus, which would go on to become Russia, didn't found that city, and that Ukraine was never an independent country in history until the collapse of the Soviet Union. That's what they're trying to pretend. And it's like, okay, you can try and pretend it, but yeah, no. The closest that parts of Ukraine got to be to independent were when they were part of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. But then Imperial Russia, put an end to that. So, and even then, they weren't independent. They were part of the Lithuanian Polish Commonwealth. So, that is just a little quibble I have. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you thinking you can just change the name of stuff? It's stupid. Stop doing it. Changing it from Kiev to Kiev does not automatically make your city a different city, and it doesn't change the historical fact that the city was built by what's his name of the House of Rourke, and then later ruled by Yarapolk until the death of Oleg, which caused Vladimir to come back from Viking because he was out Viking. And then Vladimir ended up fighting a war with Yaroslav. That's who it was, Yaroslav, and defeated him, and then conquered Kiev and made it his stronghold. Right? And then the Greeks showed up and asked if the Vikings would head on south and conquer a city for the imperial majesty in Constantinople in exchange for rewards. And they did that. And while they were down there, Vladimir converted to Christianity and married the emperor's sister, Anna. And then he came back to Kiev and told everybody, hey, all this pagan shit, it's over now. We're doing the Christian thing now. And the people were like, okay. To be fair, though, the people were primed for Christianity because Vladimir Rorik's mother is Saint, is it Christine or Olga, Saint Olga? And she spent a lot of time trying to Christianize the Russians, but with her, it really didn't take, But that was Vladimir's grandmother. She had spent time in Byzantium and Constantine, and she was like, "Hey, this whole Christianity thing's pretty awesome. I think I want to be a part of it." But maybe it was because she was a woman, people didn't listen to her. So, they're all like, "Yeah, get bent. We're not listening to you. Haha. Stupid jerk." But anyway, yeah, that's my. Now I put the what's it in the what's it, and anyone is allowed to come on and talk about anything they want. I was just pointing out that I did make videos correcting my misstatements about who actually put out Baptism of Fire, The Last Viking, etc. And I also put out videos explaining why, if you want that kind of game, then this is the game for you, since the system of the game is designed around making the game feel the way that you would want it to feel. Now, right now, I am doing something. I don't know why I'm doing it, because I don't know if I have the ice for this shit, but I'll show you. Yeah. And in one of my drawers, I have a bunch of the same scale zeros and Kates that I'm going to carefully glue on the deck. And then they'll have to be painted white. And if I'm feeling really freaking crazy, I might even try to put the red dot on their wings. But that might be asking a bit much. Right? This is the Akagi, I think. I think this is the Akagi. It was one of the first Japanese, what they called fleet carriers, because of the size, The Japanese had a lot of small carriers that were, I think they called them escort carriers. And then they had a few fleet carriers. Hell, I've got one Japanese ship that was a battleship, and they basically took all the gun mountings and everything off of the back of the ship and made it like a weird hybrid battleship, but it had some fighters on it too. Wild stuff. And then, of course, I've got my American ships to do. And I've got a bunch of Grumman Wildcats / Hellcats to glue on their decks, as well as Corsairs. But, and another thing about Baptism of Fire. In Baptism of Fire, you choose an alignment: lawful, neutral, good, evil, or chaotic, right? But then you also have virtues and vices, and how you spend points, etc., in your virtues and vices can have a huge effect on your character, So there's that too. Let me see. Is this the right color blue? If it's not, I'll just use another color blue. This thing about the ocean, changes colors. And then when it's done, I'll probably take one of my archivist pens, and draw the name of it on the base, with the paint pen. Just write down what ship it is. I don't know that I'll ever use these ships in a game, but I'm a huge fan of them. As a matter of fact, looking at these ships and painting them has kind of got me motivated to, I think, tomorrow or the next day. Today was a busy day. I had business to do. Tomorrow, or the next day, I'm going to repair my freaking 3D printer because there's still, I mean, even though I have, two fleets of Japanese and two fleets of American ships, like complete fleets, there's still some ships I wouldn't mind printing out to paint. Like I can't even say it, but like the Nassau. What's up, Hungar? How you doing, my brother? Yeah, I think the Nassau is one. Of course, you can't be putting together model ships without the Bismarck. You got to put that together. Prince Eugene. All those brilliant German ships that just ended up becoming coral reefs, which, Hungar, why are you not in the chat talking a bunch of shit? Because I got some shit to talk to you. Like, yeah, I got some stuff to tell you, buddy. It might be considered bad stuff. It might be considered good stuff too. Depends. Was the Bismarck battleship or battle cruiser? Jess, that is a question that a very nerdy person would slide his glasses up and say, well, actually, because I'm not 100% sure. Like a lot of people would call it a battleship, but I don't think it was. I mean, because raiding your enemies like merchant fleet, that's really not what battleships do. It was more, I mean, they kind of tried to call it a fast battleship, but then again, Jas, what in hell is even that, So, I mean, what it was is a okay ship that was already out of date by the time they put it in the water. It got a lucky shot on the hood, which was a World War I ship. And then it ended up getting jacked up by torpedo planes and then sank. Uh, I feel sad for the crew because shortly after the ship sank, they had a U-boat sighting in the area, so none of the British ships wanted to expose themselves to pick the crew up. So very, very few members of the Bismarck survived. And a thing that most people don't know, because most people just don't know, is even though the Germans made a law to get rid of, as they would say, the Juden and the Deutschland, Jews were allowed to join the Kriegsmarine. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the people who ended up dying on the Bismarck, not a lot, but some of them were probably Jewish because that's just the way it is. Hey, hold on. I'm grabbing Shadow.
Okay.
That's a weird rule. I didn't even know that rule until like way later in my life, that if you were a Jewish man and you were serving in the Kriegsmarine, then they left you alone. But you weren't ever allowed to get off the ship, basically.
Just watch where you grab me.
Watch where you're grabbing? What?
You said you're going to grab me, and I was like, just watch where you grab me, man.
I won't grab you anywhere you dislike.
Gay.
What's up, Lath?
It's not gay unless you kiss, Lath.
Or your eyes meet.
Yeah, they had another kind of battleship called like a Panzer something. And basically the German ships were all outgunned before they even hit the water. I mean, if you look at the size of the gun on the Bismarck compared to literally any other Navy in World War II, It's a joke. You know, it's a joke. It's not, while they may have had incredibly efficient officers and well-trained crew and blah, 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 the reality is they never had a 16-inch gun, like the Iowa. And while they were fast, they were also very dependent on oilers and stuff because they burned through fuel real quick.
To be fair, it's not always about the biggest gun. I mean, look at Japan. They had the 18-inch gun. Didn't help them.
Because, and you and I have spoken of this, Len, by the time the Yamamoto hit the water, it was no longer about battleships.
Yep.
It's just that the Japanese and everyone else hadn't caught up.
It was the right ship for the wrong war.
Right. If that thing had been put in the water for World War I, it'd have been a dreadnought, and it would have been like some crazy good stuff, right? But World War II was the war that proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's all about the carrier. And unfortunately, the Germans never figured it out.
Nope.
Or fortunately.
Japan figured it out. It's just
Japan was one of the first that figured it out.
Yeah.
I mean, we experimented with it after World War I. But the Japanese were the ones that were like, yeah, that's going to be the shit right there. But
they still like the idea of having the battleship, though, and that's what made the Yamato, but it didn't really matter.
The thing with Japan is they were never in a million years going to match America's industrial power.
No, they were basically a third world nation in production.
Right. They didn't have enough steel. They didn't have the stuff they needed. Got all those grease traps drained.
They didn't have much They didn't have real factory power either.
Yeah. I mean, they just were not industrialized. And by the time we got full and into the war, we were dropping like a frigate a day. They did have a carrier, okay. And yeah, it's not going to make a difference because
they had one carrier.
They were basically like the Soviets. They were just trapped in the Baltic Ocean. They couldn't really go anywhere. It's like, I mean, if they try to leave the Baltic, they're going to get swarmed. And America was building like a destroyer a day, aircraft carrier every month or two. And, when you're dealing with that kind of production, I mean, really, you're done. That's just the way wars work. If your enemy can outproduce you like that. Our production was so badass, Stalin even talked about it. In a quote, and this is a real quote from Stalin, he said, "America is a land of machines and industry without whom we never would have won." So, I mean, when people start talking about how the Red Army, and the Red Army did sacrifice millions. They did. They paid in blood, right? But as I've said a billion times before when we've had this conversation, the Red Army, they were wearing American-made coats, American-made boots, eating American steak.
Even after the war.
In American tanks.
Here's the thing, James. Do you know how they got their first decent aircraft, jet engine? They bought it from the Brits.
Nice.
Yeah, Stalin knew that this wasn't going to last much, so he got a few of his men to go to Rolls-Royce, and whenever they did, they tried to get as much information out of it that they could. And
well, I mean, back then, they were somewhat allies.
Somewhat. It was about that time where everybody did not like. It was starting to not like.
Yes, I agree with you entirely. It is a shame the current administration is saying they're going to try and change it. Whether they can or not, I don't know. But I think if we got into a long, drawn-out war like World War II again, I think you'd see that production come back.
Yeah.
If there's one thing for good or evil, that Americans excel in versus anyone else in the world, it's building shit and kicking asses. But we got to get mad first. Like when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, we got mad. And then it was like, all right, mother.
You never touch our boats.
You touch the boats, we're coming for your ass. We dropped the sun on you,
Twice.
Twice.
I
asked him that too, George.
Maybe. I don't know. It may or may not. We may or may not have any relation to him.
I feel like he's.
If it is, it's a distant relation.
Just in the way he acts.
What's up, George? Long time no see.
Because he does sometimes kind of act like Carl, He just don't want to be bothered. He's grumpy. I'll be like, "What's up, lad?" They'd be like, "Yeah." All right, man. You're still my bro. You're still my co-host.
Oh, James. Bad
Me.
news for me again.
You got killed.
And Bubba's gave me out. My character died again.
Bubba told you his game was no joke.
No, I get it.
Everybody involved was given a warning that, you better be on the top of your game or you will lose characters.
Yeah, he was telling me about that the other night. 5 characters died.
Damn, that's almost a group wipe, ain't it?
Yeah, he had to roll up a second character and everybody else. It was brutal.
The Venezuela thing, Jazz, which I don't know who you are if you're new to the channel. Hello. We talk about games and various other things here. I have a Venezuelan driver because I can't drive. So in order to go to my doctor's appointments, I have a driver. And he wants America to do a freaking regime change so bad. I mean, he's got his green card. He works hard. He's a good guy. But he said, given a choice, if Venezuela should be fixed back to the way it was before the communists took over, he would like to live in Venezuela because he loves Venezuela. And so that would have been is a Venezuelan, and he's kind of hoping that they.
To be fair, if it wasn't communist, it'd probably be a beautiful, beautiful country too.
It was a beautiful country, and it was also one of the richest countries in South America because it has a shit ton of oil, like a metric shit ton. And America and England and various other people used to help run the oil companies, right? But then the first communists nationalized all the oil and kicked all the foreigners out, which meant production went way down because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing, excuse my language. And then the next thing you know, they're eating, animals out of the zoo and, everything sucks because, socialism, that's how it works. Let's take a perfectly good country and make everybody in it starve. Cool. So yeah, my driver, he's Venezuelan. Him and all of his friends are hoping to God that Venezuela does something stupid and touches a boat, at which point the Marine Corps will hit. And even if there's 1 million Venezuelan shit ton versus buttload, yeah, American measurements. Venezuela has less of a chance against us than Iraq did. Like if we actually decide to go all in and start dropping just Marines and Rangers all over the place, they're done. It's over. And their whole, you fight against all of South America. Argentina was like, not us. Argentina's like, we're not with that shit. Chile was like, oh no, we love America. Chile was like, so.
I highly doubt Brazil would join in on that either.
Yeah, Brazil ain't getting in charge of. Brazil's got its own shit going on.
Yeah.
I mean, don't they got a Mardi Gras or something coming up? I know they're actually looking for. The Brazilians are always looking for some reason to show their asses off in a big parade with feathers. So, you know,
and yeah, I good for them.
Metric shit ton. That's an Army term. That's a metric shit ton, which just means a lot, like a whole lot. I am painting a character for a buddy of mine. He made a character who is dressed just like Rorschach, except all in black with a black mask. And what he did is he used a Marvel superhero called like Exodus or something like that, who's like super, like all telekinesis and everything. And he just copied down some powers. So he used that character as like the starting point of his character.
Are you using the Marvel?
The 616 rules?
Okay. I was reading the old
because I hate the face rip system.
I was reading that last night and looking for through the powers, and everything seems to be very, very vague. Hey, what's up, Mobius?
Are you talking about in the 616 version?
No, I'm talking the old Marvel TSR version.
Well, you know, I mean, when it comes to superpowers, I mean, there is a little bit of a what exactly does this mean?
Yeah, well, I'm watching. I don't know if you're watching it, but I've been watching Bears Monday night game and trying to understand the rules that he's using. You know, or what he's basing his new rule set on. And
it's basically heroic. Heroic is basically face rip, but with a lot of different, like things cleaned up.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're a face rip fan, you're going to love heroic, which he's got a working PDF that you can get.
Yeah, I should have it, but I don't do PDFs. I'm always using my devices for listening and or streaming, so I just never do that. If I've got a hard copy of it,
this is my other hobby. That'll be
your other hobby. What? Oh, he froze, or maybe it was me.
No, it's him.
Okay, but he'll be back and he can start all over.
Yep, I guess he's having internet issues.
Holmes 77, never heard of it. Yeah, I haven't seen a 10-car video in forever. I used to watch his stuff all the time, but lately his shows don't jibe with my schedule, which sucks because he's a solid dude. So I am working on this monstrosity from Archon Studio. Freaking demon. And we lost him completely.
Yeah, lost him completely. It's my show now.
Check this out, Lev. He's so big that the wing, that's one wing.
That's cool.
And even in the instructions, they say do them separate. So I'm going to try and magnetize the wings versus the body. And then it's got three choices of weapons. One is this giant whip, and this is only part of it. You know, typical Balrog style, or this flaming sword that's as big as James's battleships that he was just showing off. So,
well, actually, that's the I think Akagi.
Right. No,
that's the
trying to be quick. Brains not firing.
Yep.
Brains not firing on all cylinders.
And Leth, I have the same scale aircraft. So I'm going to carefully glue a bunch of zeros onto this thing. Actually, it's like this. This is the front.
Yeah.
So I'll
Agreed,
glue
Bruce.
zeros on there, preparing to take off and everything.
Fuck all
you
those
probably
guys.
also want some of their bombers too. Their
I have some valves and capes.
Okay, valves and capes. Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm not.
Being a live turkey. Archon is solid. I like what they've been doing.
Yeah, thanks, Ironcaster. I don't really have anything to do with it, but we've been. I mean that they started our channel. Our very first video was an unboxing of the first Kickstarter, and we
Aren't they the ones that do dungeons and
lasers. Yeah.
Oh, I love their I've got
this demon is actually part of the Caves Kickstarter, which I cannot wait to get to, but it's gonna have to wait till Christmas vacation at the earliest to show off the terrain that we got from that. Back in the first Kickstarter, it was all just dungeons, square Lego like things, and it said, "Oh, we'll never be able to do curved walls and stuff like that. It's just too hard." And this last Kickstarter was curved walls and everything. I mean, 3D caves better than I've ever seen before, including one set that's called the Belly of the Beast, where you're literally like tromping around inside the belly of a Tarrasque. So all the walls are intestines and things like that. It's just freaking. And I got mine pre-painted because they're better painters than I am, and that's their machines. Just spray the shit, assembly line style, and it comes out freaking phenomenal. I shit you not. I still have unpainted, unclipped stuff from the first Kickstarter because it just took too damn long. Even assembly line with the boy helping me, when he was, 11 or 12
I got
or
all
whatever.
my dungeons painted, but as a matter of fact, what I did with my dungeons is I just made a bunch of rooms out of them.
Yeah,
passages.
Every time you show me that, I just want to reach through the screen and just shake you
and glued them together. So
that's blasphemy. Blasphemy.
Nope. So if I want to throw rooms, because look, this is a 30 by 30 foot room.
Uh-huh.
That's like the most D&D thing ever.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Why are carrier islands on the passenger side, starboard? The Japanese did things weird.
Yeah.
And you'll see that on the other side, they have the big exhaust for their engines. And if you look really, really close, they had openings on the side so that if something exploded in the lower decks, it would explode out through the openings. So, it was weird. Now let's see here. This is the Lexington, right? And this is how the Lexington goes. This is the front. So you see the bridge and everything is on the port side, right? But the Japanese, not necessarily the same. Plus, look how small that Japanese. The Japanese bridge is tiny, man. Look at.
Well, so are they.
You can barely. It's like what?
So are they, James? They're only like this tall.
You know what the Japanese didn't have? Or maybe I painted it backwards too.
A good basketball team?
Look at that. I might have painted it backwards.
Maybe. I don't know.
Which doesn't change anything. I'll just have to glue the planes facing the other way. Good call, Jess. Good call. I think I painted it backwards. A good basketball team. I'm huge in Japan. But anyway, I really like all of the laser stuff, and I put it all together because it's just easier.
But what if you want to make like that really big boss room?
That's easy. Glue all of the floor panels together, and then just throw the walls wherever you want, whenever you want. They just plug right in.
Oh, you didn't glue everything
together with the UDT, but with walls you can plug into it.
So you didn't glue everything together, is what you're saying?
I glued pretty much all of it together. Yeah.
Really? I can't. That would be like gluing the Legos.
I even glued.
Okay, so they only made 2 aircraft carriers with the island on the port
The
side.
special has to save Lego shit.
James?
Say that again, Left.
They only built two carriers with the island on the port side. Yeah, you're cutting out. You're cutting out bad, James. Yeah, there it goes again.
He's having one of them days, isn't he?
Yeah. Well,
Means with Sydney Sweeney. I know what that means.
oh, there you go. There you go, James. You cut out real bad there.
Yeah, because my internet is being a fucking douchebag.
Yeah.
It literally disconnected me and then reconnected me.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, two carriers in the Japanese Navy had the island on the port side.
But this one isn't one of them.
Which one is that one again?
Because if I hold it up, it's the Akagi, I think. But when I hold it up and actually look underneath it, I can definitely see that this is the
No,
ship.
actually, the Akagi was the one that was one of them that actually had it on the port side.
So I painted it right then.
Yeah.
Oh, well, accidental victory.
Accidental victory.
But
yeah, it was
yeah,
the
my
Akagi
other
and the
weakness, besides gluing all of my dungeon and sci-fi parts together that I get from Lasers and Dungeons, which has been a lot. I bought a shit ton of the sci-fi stuff too.
Yeah, the sci-fi stuff. They need to do more. They're actually talking. They got this dumb idea. Sorry, guys, but it's a dumb idea to move all of their sci-fi stuff over to their Rampart line of production. So it would just be Dungeons and Lasers, sans lasers. So no more sci-fi in any of the Dungeons and Lasers Kickstarters or under the brand, which is like, well, then you got to change the name. And if you change the name, people are going to think it's something brand new from a brand new company and go, whatever happened? You know, it's just a lot of confusion. Just make some freaking sci-fi shit. One more. I mean, they haven't made one since the second, any sci-fi since the second Kickstarter. They're working on the 7th Kickstarter. You know, one every 5 Kickstarters is enough, in my opinion. And since you have the sci-fi stuff, wouldn't you love to see like some walls that look like the outsides of starships, so you could back them, you know, back to back, and basically like build a little starship with the interiors of the starship and being able to see the outside, so like you could do boarding actions or things like that. It'd be a simple, you know, work for them. You know, they've got the engineers, and you know what I mean.
Friend, I can already do that.
I know you can already do that, but
because I play a game where there's no artificial gravity.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, like, okay. Remember the scene from Star Wars when they're running into the Millennium Falcon,
right?
On Tatooine, having a ship that's landed on the ground, and then you've got dudes who got to go inside the ship and clear the ship or do some, you know, some hardcore shit.
I mean, I bought 4 of the basic boxes. I bought the vault, and I bought a couple of the just extra bullshit, which I'm not real happy with that box.
Like the scatter terrain.
Yeah, just the pieces parts. It's like,
yeah, it's all a bunch of fiddly crap that, you know, a lot of it is so lightweight that if you breathe on it,
well, it's not that. It's like, how many of these weird portals do they think I need?
Right.
How many do you need?
You
know, I mean, now will that portal maybe get use in my Marvel game? Absolutely.
Yeah, I've got this. I got this 3D printed portal.
That's a portal. You know, I don't know who my players might be going up against, but there's a chance they could be going up against the Magic. Yes, Jess, I refuse to accept the possibility of artificial gravity. Just based on my study and understanding of gravity and how it works. And therefore, in the games that I run, the only way to produce gravity is either through acceleration, deceleration, or spin habitats, which aren't perfect. To be fair, they're not perfect.
America! I can't believe that you guys actually let Venezuela buzz your 2 destroyers with some F-16s.
Yeah, I saw that.
What's up, Bruce?
Hey, gentlemen, how are you today?
I'm playing with plastic, so it's a good day. I forewent. I don't know. My nap because I was waiting for this show. I'm like, I just know if I take a nap, James is going to be doing a show, and I'm going to be like, oh man, I could have done some painting or
You need to do a show sometime and have me on your show.
You are welcome anytime, James. You and Bruce and Leth, always welcome. Thursdays and Fridays, except Thursdays when I'm doing a book review. Unless you want to join the club and read the book and talk about the book, or you already read the book.
You know what? That's the biggest problem with your book review thing. I've read them all.
Well, that still counts, right?
So I sit there and listen to you and Justin going over, your opinions of like a book, like, Swords Against Frickin' Evil or whatever. And I'm like, Fafford and the Gray Mouse, or, and I'm like, yeah, I already know all this.
Right.
But Justin uses too big of words.
Well, you won't be seeing Justin on my show anymore, so don't worry about it.
Oh, did he finally piss you off?
No, I pissed him off.
He's easy to piss off. Apparently, at some point, I told him that I could be his dad. So he got mad and never spoke to me again.
He was trying to get me to no longer support Trump, and I'm like, no, I'm in. I saw God perform a miracle on July 13th. That sealed it for me. I don't know what his game plan is. What the big guy's got planned for the other big guy, but I know his hand is working in it, and I'm cool with that. I may not be happy with it,
much, George, but if I ever run a sci-fi game, it will be Star Frontiers with the advanced rules or Traveler 2300, both of which
nice. Oh, you missed
have no artificial gravity. As a matter of fact, Traveler 2300 doesn't even have anti-gravity, which is theoretically possible.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of gravity, artificial or otherwise.
Anti-gravity is theoretically possible through the use of magnetism, but creating gravity is
what
just
the hell was that? Step on a cat?
No.
Nico.
Sorry, Nico. Oh.
See, James.
Oh, he stepped on his dog.
I didn't step on her. I picked her up, and I guess I hit a sore spot.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
what type of puppy do you have there, Timmy?
Japanese chin.
See, I always thought you would have the type of dog like a Pekingese.
Nah.
A lot of people like Pekingese.
If anything, we usually get like Bajans or Maltese.
How many dogs you go through?
Bots.
Not much. Not especially now. We barely get dogs anymore. This will be our last one.
Oh, I was just teasing.
One of the Great Lakes carriers wasn't preserved. Yeah. But yes, in my collection of starships, they're all like more low tech. Like this is a Star Frontiers battleship. And if you look at it, you can see that, look at those big engines, right? And it's split like this. And that's how the decks are. There's like, things running down the spine and stuff so that, so actually you would put it like that. And in Star Frontiers, the drives produce a lot of radiation. So if it's attached like this, there's generally going to be a big radiation barrier in there.
See, James, you're missing out on one thing, though.
What?
Without artificial gravity, you're missing out on the ability to take away the artificial gravity. Do you know how panicked players get when their gravity just goes away? All your players are used to having no gravity. You can't throw that that wrench into their plans when suddenly the gravity goes out and they're like floating around trying to figure out what to do. I love that. That's like when you're on a ship and it starts, taking on water. Everybody freaks the fuck out and you're just sitting back, enjoying the show and watching them freak out, and you kind of don't get to do that.
For space travel, always have magnet boots.
You're kind of right, but not really, because since gravity has to be produced by either acceleration, deceleration, or spin habitat,
right?
If you actually go into combat, all of a sudden you're not doing 1G. People better be strapping in the grav couches and shit like that, because it's getting ready to get weird. And I mean, if the pilot pushes it too much, they could just straight up liquefy half the people on the ship.
That was one thing I did like about the Expanse TV show.
What?
Fucking strap in and have the fucking fluid flow into you so you can resist the G forces that are going to tear your body apart otherwise.
Well, the thing with the Expanse is when they made it, they actually hired physicists to double check like all of the science. So pretty much everything you see in the Expanse is the way physicists think it would be.
So basically, that kind of makes any belief on your part of like ETs kind of out the window because they can't do the anti-grav that the stories say they can.
What?
Actually, if you're talking about like real world ETs that have like the thought provided ships where they can pull any destination to them, you can still do that within the Expanse RPG.
Yeah. There are ways to get around G forces, but
I never miss a Battle of the Planets episode.
But the fact of the matter is, you got to figure out a way to get around the G forces, or you're going to end up not happy. I mean, if you pull too much G, depending on positive or negative, you're either going to red out or blackout.
Right.
And then one of those if it's even more than that, there's a chance your eyeballs will just explode.
That's not fun either.
So,
no, I get all that. I just
so having a ship with a spin habitat, that's great, right up until you have to go to battle stations. At which point, all the people in the spin habitat need to get to the core of the ship, to their stations, and lock into their combat couches. And, the spin habitat doesn't do anything. Like a good example of that is in Traveler 2300, the Kennedy class missile cruiser. It's got like a really big spin habitat for the crew, but as soon as they engage an enemy, they shut the spin habitat down. Everybody gets in the middle, gets in the couches, and then they hang back at range and fire missiles because it's a missile cruiser. And the missiles they're firing are, bigger than like tractor trailers, And pretty much once they're done firing missiles, they leave. But you have to be strapped down, because. And Star Frontiers is the same way. Also, what you said about the lack of gravity, if your engine gets hit and you're no longer accelerating, guess what? You don't got any gravity.
And George is correct. You are always welcome to join our Star Wars game on Saturday evenings.
Well, I appreciate that, guys. I really do.
Not 100% on where you line up with Star Wars fandom, but
well, like everyone born in my generation, I will always love the classic Star Wars.
Yeah.
And a lot of the books that came with it. You know, like
Han Solo at Star's End,
Han Solo at Star's End, Han Solo's Revenge.
Splinter of the Mind's Eye. That reminds me, George. Remind me again, please, to go find that damn book and read it.
The Brian Daley trilogy is amazing, dude.
The what?
Brian Daley, the guy that wrote the Han Solo books in the 70s.
Yeah.
Those are really fucking good.
Yeah, I should have all three of those somewhere in my collection. I haven't read them since they came out.
Also, don't forget the old school games like Rogue Squadron and Shadow of the Empire.
Oh man, I used to love X-Wing. Like I did all of the missions. I did all of the missions so that I had the tattoo on my arm to show that I was one of Darth Vader's elite guys.
Nice.
Like I was like one step away from being Sith myself. And like in the final mission, you're whipping into the battle over what is it, Yavin? And I'm in a TIE Defender, and I'm literally taking out Corellian frigates and shit like that. I had a flight stick for that shit, man.
You remember the original arcade game with the line graphics?
Yeah, it was just laser-like graphics.
Yeah. I was watching this video. Remember when they did the same graphics in Escape from New York?
They did those graphics in so many movies in the 80s.
Well, it turns out that those graphics when Snake is flying into New York or gliding into New York, that wasn't digital graphics.
No.
They painted the buildings with a neon paint and filmed it. Paint. I was like, no.
That was glow in the dark paint, dude.
Right. The most difficult way you could try to pull that off, and that's the route they took, because it was easier back then than to just get a Zaxxon game and freaking reprogram it.
Well, you remember, I mean, if you remember the X-Wing game that was like that, then obviously you remember the tank game.
Here's the thing, Shadow.
Battlezone. Fuck yeah, that game rocked.
Where you put
Shadow, you know who did the Matt
thing, and
I'm going to blow Shadow's mind real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
Right.
Shadow, do you know who the matte painter was for Escape from New York?
James Cameron.
Okay, never mind. You actually know that. That's,
I
when I found that out, I
not a thing or two.
Shit. But his practical effects work is amazing,
right?
And that's why all of his movies pre-96 are so good, because they don't age. They just look better.
I might blow your mind, Bruce. Do you know who does the voice of Omni-Man in Invincible?
J.K. Simmons?
The guy from all those insurance commercials.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, we've seen a lot, so we know a lot or some shit.
Really?
Isn't that like, I mean, they couldn't have got a better guy. He's amazing in it.
He's probably the best voice on there.
For Invincible?
Of course, there's the...
For Invincible, yeah.
I was watching the other day, like, a YouTube video where this guy he did the whole video explaining, like, all the different superheroes that could beat the shit out of Homelander. And it was pretty good. Like, Soldier Boy could beat the shit out of Homelander, apparently.
Only in the TV show, not in the comics.
Hey, what's up, Bear? We were just talking about you.
Yeah, I found out from my friend the other day when we went to we did the game at his house. He hosted, and it was just a session 0, everybody getting their characters together. But apparently in the comic book, Stormfront was a guy, and
That's me. I told you that. I told you Stormfront was a guy.
Yeah, and Black Noir was a clone of Homelander.
Yes. And Soldier Boy was the second Soldier Boy, and he and Homelander were having a gay relationship, and et cetera, et cetera. The comics are truly awful, by the way.
Are they?
Really?
I've heard that from a lot of people that
here's why. Garth Ennis, the creator, hates superheroes. And it shows in the comic, because all the superheroes are idiots and liars and degenerates. It's just like there's nothing good. Now, the TV show, they didn't do that. They made them evil. They made some of them really atrocious people, but they don't make them incompetent. And that's the difference, right? He treats them like they're incompetent because they're a joke, and that's how he sees them. Garth Ennis put his political and sociological views all over that comic, which is his right. But by about issue 8, you're like, okay, we get it. You hate superheroes. Why are you still doing this? Like,
right?
why are you still writing
like Alan Moore?
Yeah, well,
So
I have
Alan
nothing
Moore
nice to say about Alan Moore other than about his writing. But as a person, nothing nice to say.
Well, don't say anything mean because he's a wizard and he may cast a hex on.
But I like Grant Morrison, who's also a wizard and his nemesis, so therefore maybe Grant will protect me.
Surrogate mommy figure defeats Homeland. Yeah, right? That is so weird, too, to see like a 50-year-old Cersei breastfeeding Homelander. It's just like...
You mean Elizabeth Shue?
Elizabeth Shue, that's not Cersei.
That's not the same person I thought was
No,
Cersei.
sir, you're confusing... what's her name? Headley.
Game of Moans with Karate Kid.
Yeah, seriously.
Well,
You don't need to do that, James. Stop it. Get some help.
And as far as Star Wars, I love the originals. And if I were going to join you guys in a Star Wars game, I would probably... Are you using like the original Dice 6 one?
Yep.
Then I'd make a bounty hunter. Human bounty hunter.
The bounty hunter's best because he's got the 3D6 or 3D plus 2 dexterity score.
Well, it's not just that because you can adjust it. It's just that game was made for the players to play smugglers and bounty hunters.
I'd play
it wasn't really made
and
for
spend the entire session driving everyone insane by going and just see them like, what is he talking about? I'm speaking Wookiee, man.
Right.
Well, you find yourself free on a Saturday night, Bear and James. You know where we will be.
No, I'm good, bro. I don't play games. I'm a lifetime forever GM.
Yeah, because
I didn't know that.
Wookiees can't speak English.
Or one can, but it has a birth
defect. Can't speak any language because of the way their larynx and everything is.
But there is one character in the books who has a birth defect who can speak. Galak.
I learned about that from watching the Star Wars Christmas special.
Yes. What a fucking fever dream nightmare that is.
You ever watch Fisher on drugs?
You know, I only saw it the night it came out, so I have no... It was so long ago, I remember like nothing about it, except I think Boba Fett was in it.
Yeah, in the cartoon part of it.
Well, the lady who plays Bob does the whole bar scene where she sings some.
She does more than she does that scene, and you got what's his name from the Mary Tyler Moore Show and all those.
Dick Van Dyke.
No. He was in a bunch of the. He was in Blazing Saddles and.
Tim Conway.
Rip Torn.
Harvey Korman.
Oh.
Harvey Korman. That's who it was.
Yeah, he's in that. He does a bunch of characters in that. The best thing you can do is go get the Riff Tracks version of it and watch it. You will cry laughing. It's so funny.
Yes.
Watch
it with the commercials.
Insanely funny.
Watch it with the
Riff Tracks has commercials. The Riff Tracks one has commercials.
They actually have the commercials from 1978.
Yeah.
So you get to hear the song that Al Gore was laying like Homelander on his mommy's lap, pointing at his head at her titties while they croon, "Make sure to look for the Union label."
Oh my God.
Is it like a disease for you that like everything has to turn into a political commentary or something, Bruce?
Dude,
like, holy shit, man. No, you know what? No. If you only have a hammer, every problem's a nail. I get it. It's okay.
No. Al Gore actually said that. He said, "No, my mom used to make me
Jesus Christ, I'm just fucking with you, man. You don't have to defend it.
You're fine, Bear."
Yeah. Shadow, when I came in, you said you guys were just talking about me. What the fuck were you talking about me?
We weren't.
I need a beer. I'll be right back.
Most people, when they hear that I have a hammer, they think these are the hammers. They're not.
Those are guns.
I wanted to commend you on last night's game is all. It was freaking brutal. I never seen two people like not necessarily arguing or fighting, but kind of arguing it who's going to sacrifice themselves.
Yeah, it was funny, man.
Like what? Really Janet, let him have it. Let him have it. It's like, I mean, unless you want to bow out of the game or make a new character, which I know she doesn't. Just let the big guy have it. Let him take the bullet for the team.
No, but you know what? That's good role playing, man.
Yeah.
It's good role playing.
It was a good show.
And by the way, I was quoting Captain Hammer.
No, I don't know what Captain Hammer is. What is that? Doctor whatever sing along.
Yeah.
Ugh, Jesus Christ!
Shut up. Dude. It's one of my favorite superhero things ever.
I cannot stand Felicia Day.
Oh,
yeah, it's okay though. She's not in
I like you more than I did before.
She's not really in it enough that you should be upset about it.
I'm sorry, Bruce. I couldn't hear you. What did you say?
I did not realize that I liked you more now than what I did before.
Okay, well, you're welcome. I also hate Patton Oswalt, if that helps, and Will Wheaton can fuck off.
I almost beat the shit out of Patton Oswalt.
I mean that's a story.
Me and my boy were at the last Grenadier in North Hollywood, because my wife was picking me up from the bus station, and every time we would go to the last Grenadier, which is a hobby shop, and I'm in there with my boy. We're shopping around, looking at models and shit, and he's all of like 4 or 5 years old, maybe even younger, and Patton Oswalt is just fucking eyeing him, basically eye fucking my boy, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And he freaking backed the fuck up.
I can only just say one thing. You're in California. Why do you think it should be different?
Yeah, I gotta say, Shadow, this is your undoing. Move out of the avocado time.
I'm just going to say I ran a good game last night, and it was a lot of fun role-playing. I don't know what these two are on about, but holy fuck. It's like from Al Gore to pedophilia. I'm like, what's going on in this conversation, man?
Well, you mentioned
I saw you running your one game the other day.
Yeah, this is not the way I thought this conversation was going to go.
Well, Leth, given the amount that you usually contribute to a conversation, you really have no leg to stand on about how conversations
Leth has been a lifesaver today.
Oh, has Leth been actually participating today?
Yes. He's been a lifesaver.
Wow, buddy, that's good for you, because normally you just sit there for an hour and a half and then go, okay, guys, I got to go, and then you go, and it's really, really creepy.
Leth is my co-host.
Oh, well, that's good for you,
He is my Andy Richter to...
he's your Ed McMahon. Come on.
Oh, yeah. That's the best guy ever. I saw a video of people he hated. Apparently, Johnny Carson had people who, they were on the show one time, and he's like, never again. Don't ever bring those guys back. They're truly horrible people. One of them was Betty Davis. Apparently, she was just a horrible human being.
Well, all the boys
because some of the stars would come on a show, and then they would yell at the people who worked for him, and he would tell them, "Look, we don't do that here." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because apparently Johnny Carson believed in treating all of the grips and all of the various people very well.
Well, because he was a great guy,
and he would get really pissed off when these uppity, Hollywood types would want to be like, man, he'd be like, nah, not having it. Yeah, he hated Frank Sinatra and Mickey Rooney.
Yes, beans, and he's acting like a
well, everybody hated Mickey Rooney. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, apparently he didn't like him because of some weird shit.
Oh, not the bankruptcy shit.
No,
like who?
Mickey Rooney.
Yeah, there were. I'm not going to get into it. You guys can look it up if you want. But anywho, So,
well, apparently Mickey Rooney was a piece of shit from everything I've heard.
Yeah,
yeah. My dad had to work with him in back in the day, and yeah, just.
So what happened in the game that caused all of the? Yeah, that's what pissed him off. See, I think George and I must have seen the same thing. Mickey Rooney would harass all of the female staff. And Johnny Carson, again,
not having it.
That. You know what I mean? It was just, something he didn't.
Yeah, Mickey Rooney was like 4'1". Let's be honest, man. Like, who's, the guy's a trog.
And he didn't want to listen, so he never got to come back. You know.
I'm not saying that's terrible because I hated Mickey Rooney.
Yeah. But anyway, yes. So your game,
most
fair, good.
Person on all of CBS. And I
Good.
Yeah, the game was really good. Went really well. Played smoothly. It was a lot of fun.
I mean, I didn't watch all of it, but I did pop in and catch like 30 minutes of it.
Next time, say hi.
No.
Okay, fine. Don't. Whatever.
But I did give you a thumbs up.
Well, thank you for that, you surly old bastard.
I mean, you got something.
Yeah,
there.
Prince may have been 5'2", but he was 10'12" with talent. So shut up.
Prince
and he can kick your ass at basketball wearing high heel shoes and then make you fucking pancakes after.
And tell you that about the grapes on the table, bitches.
He's one of the greatest guitarists of all time.
I don't know about that. Not a fan.
I've said
you are what's the word I'm looking for?
Number one movie, single,
wrong
album at the same time.
No, it's not. It's not that. I didn't like his music. You know, I don't know anything about him.
I mean, how do you not like?
He's played every instrument on Purple Rain
or Kiss.
I hate Kiss.
Yeah, I only liked Kiss as a child.
The whole album, Purple Rain, was just a banger after banger.
Yep,
every song on it.
Not my style.
No, there was again. This is the Oyster Cult fan, so therefore it wasn't. It was too openly gay. He needed more cachet gay.
But he wasn't gay. Prince was.
Yeah, listen. He may not have been gay, but I guarantee you, he sucked the dick once in his life for sure.
Dabbled, you think?
He was deeply closeted.
But according to the women who were in the band, he was running through them.
Oh yeah.
And
well, yeah.
I heard stories about 5'2" man had a monstrous unit.
For him being 5'2", he had a third leg.
Yeah, that's
what I heard. Talking about my game as opposed to Prince's dick. What the fuck, man?
Well, you guys keep taking it back to weird places. I keep talking about. I watched your game; it was good.
Thank you.
It looked like everybody was having a good time, which is the most important thing, really.
I agree.
Well, not only that, Bear, there aren't many playthroughs that I'll watch because they bore the shit out of me. And
that's my problem.
Yours is not one of those.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Bear, I watched the board because Funcom did a patch today for Dune, and now it won't let me log on because apparently there's some issue between the game and Ryzen AMD software.
Ooh.
And I have a good one.
You did not go with our Lord and Savior NVIDIA?
Nope.
Shame.
AMD's cheaper.
We're on games.
I like AMD.
I love AMD.
The buck is pretty good, you know.
Our CPUs are way better than their opposition to.
Red Hulk. Oh my god.
So I haven't been able to play Dune all day, but I have been able to send in multiple complaints. Don't worry about me, boy. Like I'll try to log in and it'll be like, you can't play. Do you want to log a bug? And I'll be like, yes, I do.
Dear sir.
Dear sir. I bought the game and the freaking DLC, and now I can't play, and I'm pretty pissed. You know? It's like, come on. What's your issue here? Yeah, Motley Crue. Read the Led Zeppelin book, Hammer of the Gods. The shit they got into is just literally disgusting.
Yeah, the Motley Crue stuff is pretty disgusting too, though. Like when
what was that one song?
Tommy Lee and Nikki Sixx decided they were gonna not fucking bathe and see how many groupies they could still fuck without bathing. And they went like a month or something, and then finally, like Vince Neil and Mick Mars were like, "Shower, or we're breaking up the fucking band." Like, just fuck you, you stink, you know.
Why would you even do that? That is such a
cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, I mean that is such a weird bet. Hey, bro, I got an idea.
No, it's really not that weird. I mean, when you get to a certain point, and dumb bimbos are throwing themselves at you. Yeah.
You think that no matter what you do, the pussy's still going to be there tomorrow.
And they were right.
Getting better than hippos, dude. Crew was getting some fucking hot chicks. Like, let's be honest.
What's that? What's that one song that they literally recorded themselves fucking a bunch of fat chicks and put it in the background? Okay, it's up for like their first or second album. Yeah, look into that. That's just.
Yeah, I'm sure once they were past the first album and they were international superstars, I'm sure the quality of pussy increased. I'm pretty sure.
Red Hulk, I think you're right.
Still gross as fuck.
I know Fallout 76 was absolute trash when it very first came out. And now all of a sudden it's got mostly positive reviews. I actually thought about playing that because I own it. Because apparently it's set in Appalachia. And I wonder if I could go to my old Kentucky home, kill a bunch of super mutants, and make a house. That'd be kind of cool, right?
Is that a song, My Old Kentucky Home?
Yeah, it is. I was just thinking. But the only time I remember hearing it was Bugs Bunny, I think, singing it.
Yes.
Somebody made a Doom WOD for a Fallout conversion. So you're running around playing Doom, but it's set in the Fallout universe, and it looks really good. That's on ModDB right now. That was
at a point, you got to start feeling a little sorry for the demons, don't you?
No.
George,
we're on Doom like 9, and Doom Guy is literally jumping through universes and curb stomping demons. It's like Doom Guy is the guy that demons tell their kids stories about.
Holy Diver in the house. What's happening, bro?
Holy Diver. I want to figure
out.
Holy Diver. I want to figure out where It's a Gundam got his like acoustic version of Holy Diver. Yeah. I don't know where he got it, but it's like. Anyway, you guys were talking about Fallout, and I went to freaking Doom. Sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, Doom Guy,
man. You do whatever you want, man.
Around kicking the shit out of these demons, and then like they invade Earth, and he whips their ass, and then they try to go to hell, and he goes to hell after them, and they try to go to another dimension. Doesn't matter. Here's Doom Guy.
Ass in hell.
Yeah, shotgun in hand, ready to do business. You know what I'm saying? It's like he is the thing that the devil is afraid of. Doom Guy.
I still highly recommend the one episode of American Dad where the rapture happens and then it turns into Demon Mad Max afterwards, where those who are left behind, it's like demonic Mad Max and he's out to kill the Antichrist with Jesus. It's the fucking coolest goddamn episode of any of the Seth MacFarlane shows ever.
It's my favorite, at least, of that show. I stopped watching his stuff a long time ago for obvious reasons.
No reason is obvious.
He's just
they made.
Nope. Lost bear.
Bear down. Bear down.
Yeah, sorry, my system is being wonky.
Godzilla in Hell, there was a comic.
George, I tried typing a message to you, but it doesn't look like it showed up. If you're going to watch Codex Albana, it cacked out and died, so you'll never get closure on it. Just warning you now.
Codex Albana. That ain't the one where the bard has to get a story.
No, that's my game I was running that was once a month with Legion of Myth and Yield Geek. Your brother started in it and then quit.
Well, you know how my brother is.
Yes, unreliable?
Very.
Very.
That's my game sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm his brother.
There you go.
And he'll call me and be like, I don't want to play. I don't feel good because, I have a terminal disease and I may die soon. And I'm like, really, dude? That's not really an excuse to call off the game.
Let me ask you a question. Does he do it usually after a session where he did something really stupid and acted like a goof nugget and then suddenly doesn't want to play the game anymore?
Do you know what? He's one of the best players at my table.
He can be a fantastic player. But
he keeps the group motivated, going in the right direction. He makes sure if players start arguing, he puts an end to that shit right on the spot. He keeps everybody focused on the mission, and he plays a big dwarf fighter. So, well,
maybe that's
what he's only 4.5 feet tall, but still, people are intimidated by him. You know,
maybe I should have let him play a dwarf, and he would have been more invested. Who knows?
I think a big part of him is he and I have been playing this game for like 35 plus years together.
Same campaign?
No, we stopped that one like 10 years ago. But we did play a campaign for like 20 years. Wow. That's the one I told you where I had to make up a system to determine the stats of a child depending on the stats of the parents. By doing like this weird, like, you still had to roll, but there was like a baseline.
I had to do that too. That's weird.
So if two parents who had 18 strengths had a baby, then that baby was probably going to be really strong, but there was still a die roll. You know,
Malachi, you weren't in the Codex Albana game. You
somehow
were just
they make a baby.
With
18 strength, and the baby turns out to just get like 20 intelligence instead.
Well, and that could happen, but I had to come up with that system because Hungar was playing a dwarf, and he's hanging out with a human cavalier. I've told the story before. And the cavalier died of old age at like 76. But before he had died, he, of course, had been married and had a bunch of kids. So then he decided to play one of his kids. And when he got a few levels on him with one of Hungar's secondary characters, he started hanging out with Hungar's primary character because Hungar's, I use level caps. So even as a dwarf, he could only be like level 8. So, and like they literally went through generation. Hungar didn't because his character is going to live 450 years. And he started at 70. But the humans, they just kept dying, man, of old age and other stuff. And, you know, and that game went just, for about 2 decades.
Nice.
So, you know, it was me and my friend Marcus and brothers and you know, only a couple of us were good with women. So it was one of those games where it's like, are you bored? I'm bored. Let's play the game. And then there was a lot of battling and stuff. I had the original Battle System box set, which I love.
I love that. I wish my players as well.
Yeah, because the kingdom of Ben Falona, that's the last name, Ben Falona. You know, he was constantly invading neighboring hobgoblin tribes and shit like this. And we would use battle system, but let the players be on the map too, using the battle system rules for that.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it got pretty freaking intense there, is what I'm saying.
I believe you.
You know, like people were married and shit like this. One of Hungar's secondary characters was a mage named Tim, but with an E, so T-E-M. And he got his character up to like level 6 and then did a class swap to become a monk. And eventually, over years, he got his monk up to like level 7. Which meant he got all the full abilities of a monk and a level 6 mage.
Fair.
It wasn't fair. That is the worst, man. Fireball followed up by a bunch of fucking quivering palm and all kinds of crazy shit.
Well, you allowed it. So
this is first edition monks. That shit was no joke.
You allowed it, so.
Well, it's not against the rules. Remember, characters.
Hey, Shadow.
They could split class.
You need me to quote the afterword?
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Last night, you saw Captain Saturn sacrifice himself to protect an NPC, which is what I love about that game.
Yeah.
An NPC they just met, no less. So he's really showing his heroic nature. Same for Janet, for Mr. Mirage.
Well, that's why it's heroic.
How permanent is death in a superhero comic?
Not very.
It's not. Yeah, really not very.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, thank you.
Because in Marvel, if you take a mutant with the X gene to Krakoa, Krakoa can resurrect that.
That is the worst fucking plot thing they ever introduced in the X-Men, and that's saying something because they've introduced a lot of stupid fucking plots in the X-Men since the 90s.
Well, yeah, it's like a giant mutant that's an island.
So it's the island of the giant. So if you go back to when Giant Size X-Men #1 happened, which was when the Claremont and the new X-Men start, right? So you got like Thunderbird and Storm and
I've got it in my collection
Nightcrawler and all that stuff, right? The island of Krakoa is the living island where the other X-Men vanished and what have you, and they have to go back. Later, many moons later, so post-90s, they decided Krakoa is a mutant. Okay. And then it became the mutant homeland. Okay. And then if you die out in the real world, you're reborn on Krakoa in a new body. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say
stupid.
I would still have him roll up a new character.
Oh, no. We've already made his new character. He's playing a new character. I don't know.
Sweet.
I'm just saying.
Shit happens. Just surprise him with it, because you're running his character or something for a minute.
I'm just saying shit happens in a superhero world that.
Yep. That's why the superhero genre is so much more not just challenging, but viable. You could do so many more things, so many more crazy things, and nobody freaking bats an eye. Like in my D&D games, my fantasy games, resurrection is off the table. It's not happening. You may find some other workaround, but if you die, you're done. Make a new character. But with the superhero game, even sci-fi to a lesser extent, it's less.
So in a superhero game, you can literally have one campaign arc where they're fighting demons. Then the next campaign arc, they're in space fighting stormtroopers. And then the next campaign arc, they're back in time fighting superpowered cavemen.
Right.
And the next campaign arc, they're in the far future and the Earth's been destroyed by evil robots. And you can do anything you fucking want.
Yep.
Like one of
That's
the
why I
things
love it.
that I'm actually like thinking about very hard right now is the public response to supers in my game.
I've been talking about that since the channel began. I don't understand why the superhero genre isn't the 800-pound gorilla and why D&D is. It makes more sense.
People want to kill. People want to be murder hobos. And if you're doing superheroes right and your players start killing everything in sight, well, now they're villains.
I actually ran a villain superhero game for a kind of a lengthy period of time, and everybody, in my group, they loved it. It was kind of my longest running game, like 35 years, 25, 35 years. I don't know. I'm old, and they loved the hell out of it. But the people out in the rest of the world seem to just, recoil from the whole, capes and cowls. I just don't get it. Especially people who've never played a role-playing game before. It seems like it would be so much easier to get them into it by explaining, oh, you've seen a superhero movie? Okay, that's what we're doing. Versus, have you ever seen Excalibur? Huh? Okay, never mind. How about, have you ever seen Beastmaster? Or whatever, they haven't made a good, real classic fantasy movie.
Well, if they're Gen X and they were, they had HBO or TBS, they've certainly seen Beastmaster.
I saw Beastmaster every day, sometimes 3 or 4 times a day during that era.
That the joke used to be that TBS was,
the
Beastmaster station, and HBO was, hey, Beastmaster's on.
Yep.
I ran a villain game one time for my players. They said they wanted to play villains, and I said, okay, but you realize I'm not going to play the hero stupid, right? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. And they got their asses kicked after a heist and never wanted to play villains again because the Batman equivalent of the universe came after them and kicked the living shit out of them. It was hilarious.
I do the same thing with evil fantasy games. I will create, paladins and bounty hunters and things like that and send them after them, and they learn right quick that, crime doesn't really pay.
Well, I'll probably have to be telling a person or two to remember they're heroic.
Yep.
Because of the characters that they wanted to use for their archetypes. So,
What, Cat? What?
Now.
I finally got it through to the one player that she could not be dead. And
Good
how
for
I
you.
got through to her is I said, Deadpool exists in this world. You can't be him.
No.
So she made a female Deadpool that she had me paint up to look like Gwenpool. Except her name is Bratpool.
Bratpool?
I know she's going to be an issue. Yeah. Brat.
Kill her now.
She's going to be an issue. I can already tell.
Nuke her from orbit. Only way to be sure.
Eat her.
The problem is she can't be killed, right?
If she's many Zhubs and Zools learned what it was to die slowly in the stomach of a Thor that day. I can certainly tell you, have something eat her and just let her contemplate this as she digests in the pit of the Sarlacc for 1,000 years.
Right.
Come on, man.
I was just gonna go there. Nice.
Yeah.
Or just get arrested and thrown into the prison from like Deadpool 2.
Giant slore. Are you a giant slore?
Where they had the the collars that made their powers not work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it depends.
Yeah, Bears already slapped
she goes all
one of
Katana
his
style
players.
on truly bad people.
Sorry, Bears already what now?
You already slapped one of those collars on one of your players, right? April?
No, she has a telepathic implant. So basically, when they went to get her out of prison, she had the collar on to prevent her from using her powers, at which point her nemesis was brought in to put a subconscious trigger in her brain, which is that if she betrays the team or tries to mind control any of them, bad shit will happen.
Yeah.
Plus, she has no control. She has no ability to go to the astral plane, and that's how that person beat her and put her in jail in the first place, was to take her to the astral plane and fight her there. And now she has a hitch, which is she has a super paraphobia of the astral plane. So it's really good because April's playing her super cocky, super arrogant, super I know everything and everything's cray. But eventually she's going to shit her bricks at some point because bad things will happen. It's fun.
So that is a BTR 80 with 30 millimeter chain gun. They used these quite a bit in Chechnya in the Second War.
Where'd Bruce go?
I'm right over here, bro. I just had to type a message to a friend of mine.
I feel like Bruce was here. Has anybody seen Bruce?
I think he left.
Not in like a year, man.
I think he left. Yeah, I don't know. He was here. He was talking about fucking what was his name?
Just got a hell of an
Al Gore.
fucking bomb.
Al Gore. Yeah. He invented the internet, by the way.
I got a hell of a bomb just dropped on me right now, and I'm like, okay, well, I have to fucking sit on that for years. Fuck.
All right, I'll be nice. What happened? What's wrong?
No, I can't talk about it because it's.
Well, then don't bring it up. That's what women do.
I'm just saying.
You won't believe what happened today. What happened? I can't tell you. Well, then why the fuck did you bring it up?
Because it involves my group, and it might fuck. So if it works out by Saturday, great. We'll talk about it. But if it doesn't, you'll see the effect. It sucks.
Oh, that sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I hope everybody's okay.
Yeah, I hope it works out. I hope everybody's okay, man.
Me too.
Is it someone we know that we should be worried about and hope they're okay?
You watch them on my channel a lot because they're there with me every Saturday.
Well, that can only be one person.
Yeah, that's someone who plays in my game too.
It's actually two people because Chris is in my game now too, and it's like it more deals with him than anything else. But it's like
Chris? Who's Chris?
He's the guy that chases people up. He's like, God damn it, your chat's on. Can you please get rid of your chat? All those people are bots. So
I don't know who this person is.
I'm not a bot. What the fuck?
You are such a fucking bot.
You're like the king of the bots.
You're like Bot Lord 3000.
Alrighty then.
You're like Captain Botman.
No, it's not Janet. It's fuck.
Yeah, just enough. Let's change the subject, Bruce. Blah 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 blah. How you doing, Bruce? Hey, Bruce, I got a question for you.
You did change the
subject. Ragging on you right now. Just a moment ago. Just a moment ago, yeah. There's that too. Bruce, why did it look like you were in the restroom, like taking a dump? And
don't fall for it, Bruce. He's a bot. He's just trying to steal your data.
It looked like we were looking at your roll of toilet paper.
Let me just show you. Okay, I have this little camera right here.
Okay,
that is a Razer Keo, and it's a really good camera. However, my computer, for some odd reason, I guess it's Brave and Restream that are constantly fighting for dominion. And so, like, you get these alternating views because these two cameras fight for the top spot.
Okay.
And that's, I got this document camera, which is like 3 years old. I probably need the upgrade version, but.
Let them fight.
Yeah.
One of the best lines in any movie.
That's fair.
I wish I wasn't a smoker.
And I didn't know you were a smoker.
I started up because it was getting hard to stay awake sometimes. And nicotine and
the number one cause of house fires. That's a good way to stay awake.
Oh, no. I got nicotine and caffeine at my job, so I can, like, down coffee and smoke cigarettes.
Have you considered meth?
No.
That's my line.
I love my teeth.
Well, I live in Canada. Have you considered assisted suicide?
I have.
Yeah. Have you considered just dying?
Yeah. like Dean says, the guy goes to the doctor in the UK and he says, doctor, I need stitches, and the doctor says, I can give them you in 6 months. The guy goes to the doctor in the US and says, doctor, I need stitches. He says, great, $40,000. The guy goes to the doctor in Canada and says, I need stitches. And the doctor says, have you considered dying?
For the good of the country, actually.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's a few Canadians I don't want to see that happen to. But
luckily, they haven't made it where they can force you to do it. You got to volunteer. Yeah.
No, but like my buddy's mother had bone cancer, and after like the chemo failed, and they were like, "This ain't gonna work." She chose it, and I can respect why she chose it. You know what I mean?
No.
Because I can, dude. The pain and everything.
Yeah, because bone cancer is a fucking living agony.
Doc, the same thing, but it's about Hoboken. Yeah, set a superhero game in Hoboken, New Jersey.
Oh my God, the Hoboken Defenders. What are you doing today? Cleaning the highway? We're fighting against the pollution.
Yeah, they could be like
the Atlantic City asshole
characters that you gotta watch out for, like mob enforcers and shit. Just running around doing shit.
Hold on a second, guys. I'll be right back. I gotta take care of something.
I was gonna run a campaign one time. I never got to do it. And then I thought about doing it as a comic book, but the whole idea was to do a Canadian superhero team where the government decides they're going to build a national superhero team, and every province gets to submit one member, and then Quebec makes a big stink about it because they're distinct and they get permission to put 2 members in, and then Ontario counters that, so Ontario gets to put 2 members in, and then Saskatchewan doesn't have any actual superheroes, so they hire an American, and they comes in and plays as a ringer to be a superhero, but then they ask him questions about, like, Canadian history and stuff like that, and he can't answer them and gets exposed on TV. This is a crazy idea I had once.
It sounds funny, right? They're like, Mr. Fantastic, what's your favorite hockey team? And he's like, oh, I'm a Bruins fan.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's more like, being from the great province of Saskatchewan there, how do you, what are your feelings on Tommy Douglas? And him going, oh, I'm not a hockey fan. Tommy Douglas was the politician who gave us universal health care and is like sort of famous for that in Canada. You know what I mean? And he was from Saskatchewan. But just like the fact you'd be like, oh, Tommy Douglas, I don't really follow hockey. I'm more of a basketball fan.
Well, that'd be like if you're in America and somebody's like, so how do you feel about Thomas Jefferson? Oh, yeah, I'm really not into baseball.
Yeah, here's the problem. That doesn't work because you guys have permeated the brain of the world with your history and knowledge. So you know how you guys don't know anything about anybody else's culture in general. You're actually pretty well educated for a human being, sir, for an American. But most Americans know fuck all about the world outside of America, and they know precious little about America to begin with. It's not the same for us. We know everything about your fucking country and your history because we eat your movies and your TV shows and your music and your radio programs and your comic books and your novels. And so we're really well versed on you guys. You know what I mean?
I know about the McKenzie brothers and Red Green.
Oh, for fuck's sake. And that proves my point.
What? Red Green show is awesome.
I know who fucking Smedley Butler is, dude.
It's like, if you can't be handsome, be handy.
If the ladies don't find you handsome, at least let them find you handy.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's a brilliant bit of advice right there.
Keep your stick on the ice.
Yeah. So, and of course, SCTV was.
Who the fuck is Brian Mulrooney?
SCTV was the
you spelled it wrong, but still
back
funny.
In the day. Like you had all the different skits with like frickin' Rick Moranis.
And yet you didn't know who the Schmengi brothers were. That broke my heart.
And John Candy. I mean,
Eugene Levy and
Levy.
Harold Ramis and Dave Thomas.
Oh my God, Dave Thomas. Of course, Dave Thomas, because that's the second part of the McKenzie brothers.
Yep.
Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas.
Joe Flaherty.
White North, eh? And they're sitting there grilling back bacon, drinking beers. And they got their.
All right, our topic today is
flannels.
You ever hear the song? Take Off?
Take Off, eh?
Well, no, they have a song where because they released an album, and on that song, Geddy Lee from Rush is the guest singer, and they have a little back and forth with him. It's like, hey, thanks a lot, Geddy, for doing our album. It's like, hey, $10 is $10. It's really good.
Right. Oh,
the Schmengi brothers. Cabbage rolls and coffee. Good.
Well, cabbage rolls and coffee probably would be good. Speaking of musicians who did things that turned out really weird, on the Beat It song, Michael Jackson, he asked Eddie Van Halen to do the guitar riff, right? And Eddie Van Halen was like, sure, I'll help this kid out. So he had a lot of rules, though. Like, no one else in Michael Jackson's studio band could know it was him. He couldn't be like on the label, nothing. You know what I mean? And he rocked in and knocked the song out. He didn't really think the album was going to be much of anything. So he rolls into the studio and knocks that guitar solo out in like 15 minutes and then bells out, right? And then he says, like a month later, he's in a record store and he hears the, and Beat It. And some kid was like, damn, that sounds a lot like Eddie Van Halen from Van Halen. And he's standing there and he's like, it is. You know what I mean? And he said, the funniest part is he never asked for a nickel. It never occurred to him to charge Michael Jackson. And then he's like, and then that album beat 1984 that year, and the rest of Van Halen were pissed with him. And he's like, Dave, you were not even in the country. And the other one, he's like, I didn't even know where you were. I couldn't ask anyone for permission. So I just said, fine, I'll help this kid out.
Yeah, fuck Van Halen. What they did to Michael Anthony or Mark Anthony was fucking unforgivable.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, especially when they went to the whole idea of telling him bassists deserved less money.
Oh, I thought you were talking about they sent him to Egypt and he hooked up with Cleopatra.
No, Michael Anthony basically was told that that they didn't need a bassist, and really at the end of the day, why bother? But we'll give you less money because you're just the bassist. Like Eddie Van Halen went fucking crazy later in life. Like he went full on insane, and his brother backed his plays every time.
Loved when the Russians took over the satellite. Yeah. But that's too bad. But then again, they got rid of David Lee Roth too.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Hagar lived to regret that.
I don't know if Hagar lived to regret it, but I think Van Halen did. And they booted him because I guess he was taking too much of their shine or something.
Oh, wow. Surprise. The lead singer gets all the credit.
They weren't super happy with the fact that he was so,
Oh, they were mad at David Lee Roth because he did a solo album, and was focusing on that. That really pissed off the Van Halen brothers.
Yeah. Just a gigolo, and everywhere I go.
He's got charisma.
Yeah. Dave.
I love David Lee Roth so much more.
Yes, George. Roxo the Rock and Roll Clown it has to be 100% based on David Lee Roth. There's no way it's not. I mean, right. Roxo dresses like him and does all the kicks and shit, except all he talks about is cocaine.
Do you remember the SCTV sketch? They only did it one time. It was very short. It was John Candy as Magnum PEI. And it's basically him doing the Magnum stuff, but stopping potato thieves.
Potato thieves.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious, dude. You can find it on YouTube. It's really funny.
Somebody made a meme about you and me.
What?
Yeah, someone made a meme about you and I.
I thought you did that.
No, I just posted it.
Someone sent you that?
No, they just posted it on my Discord.
James, you're living in your own private Idaho underground like a wild potato. There we go. Well, whoever did that, God bless him, I guess. I don't know.
It was I saw it and I was
it didn't feel mean. When I saw it, I was like, doesn't feel mean. I'm okay with it.
Oh no, I don't think anybody was trying to be any way about it. I think somebody's just having a good time.
Yeah.
Prince Edward Island.
PEI. Did someone ask what PEI was?
Yeah.
Anyway, I highly recommend you Google that on YouTube, the whole Magnum PEI. It's fucking funny.
He does his one song and it's like, he's all like, something, I do a lot of cocaine. It's just Roxo the Clown. And Toki's like, he's my friend. And the rest of them. The lawyer rolls in and the lawyer tells the guard, take him out and give him the boot, medium style. And the next scene, you just see all the Metalocalypse guards like freaking curb stomping the shit out of Roxo.
Yep. I missed that show. I'm going to have to probably buy it on DVD.
Oh, yeah. Murderface wakes up and Roxo's got his hand in his pocket. Murderface is like so upset. He like walks out to the rest of the band. He's like, I just woke up with a clown's hand in my pocket. I just want you all to know I had a clown's hand in my pocket while I was asleep. And they're all like, we need to get rid of that guy. But Toki loved him. So,
And Murderface loved Toki.
Yeah. So it was kind of a weird thing.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Murderface and Toki both got removed from every studio album.
What?
What are you talking about?
Metalocalypse.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
You don't remember that scene where
album after they did the recording, Swissgar would do all the bass parts and the drum parts.
And you don't remember that part where Toki was wearing like dolphin shorts and roller skates and nothing else, and Murderface tries to grape him?
Yeah. I like the one too where they're all hanging out and they all have to take their shirt off and they're all flabby and shit. And then Toki pulls his shirt off, he's ripped. And they're just all looking at him like, what? You know? All I know about PEI is Anne of Green Gables and the shellfish. Uh-oh. You guys are getting into some deep lore there that I don't know much about. Prince Edward Island.
It's a fucking postage stamp. It deserves nothing. It should be part of New Brunswick. Shit.
No.
Look at it this way. It's smaller than Vancouver Island, but Vancouver Island doesn't get to be its own province.
Right. That's funny. I'll tell you what. You Canadians are a hilarious bunch.
Yes, we are. Very, very, very hilarious.
Hilarious. You're just always doing things. It's funny.
We kind of are. We're always doing things and looking at things and singing songs about things, you know.
Getting into all kinds of things.
We are kind of about things.
I mean, when you're not playing hockey. But, I mean, no hate there. Hockey is my favorite sport, too. So, oh, man. You're not going to hear me talk shit about that.
Well, you know, hockey is just a boxing match where a hockey game just spontaneously.
Wow, you almost had it. You almost had Robin Williams' joke, but then you fucked it up with stumbling.
Sorry.
The joke is, I went to a boxing match the other night, and a hockey game broke out in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the old school. I remember when they had the one guy, I think he was Canadian, that always wore like the green plaid suit.
I'm sorry, say that again, please.
He always wore like a green plaid suit, and he was like a commenter for hockey.
Oh, you're talking about Don Cherry.
Yeah, that guy was crazy, man.
Don Cherry still has one of my favorite lines ever in the history of hockey. Never trust a Swede in the corners.
Yeah, like what? Yeah, that guy was nuts, man. And of course, we stole the greatest hockey player of all time from you.
Everyone hated Brad and Janet for trading the best player on the planet.
I mean, you know, the
came from Brantford, Ontario. His rival's name was Mario.
Can you guys see this?
Actually, I like the Hawks, but boy, oh boy, Wayne Gretzky rocks. That's an actual song by an actual Canadian band.
Oh,
yeah.
Sounds like I'll need to go.
I gotta go. The world is babadoo. Okay, bye.
I'm gonna have to jet too. It's almost time for Jackie to be home. But James, take a look at this fucking thing. You see this whip?
Mm-hmm.
Is that freaking ridiculous?
It's definitely a big whip.
Yeah, but
that's a whip.
How the hell am I going to store this thing? I'm definitely going to have to magnetize this.
Well, the thing is, I just sold a box set of 40K I had laying around and a bunch of some other things. And the guy expressed an interest in possibly, after he talked to his wife, buying my Demon Army. So I am clearing my garage out. And he's like, are you just quitting 40K? And I'm like, no, I still have my Horus Heresy armies. I'm probably never going to get rid of them. But, you know, standard 40K is dead to me. They can keep their Primaris Marines and all their other bullshit. So, there you go. That's the news. I get a box. I take pictures of things. I put them in a box, and then I put it on Facebook, and I say, cash only, and you got to pick it up.
Oh, really?
People come and give me money.
I actually just had a sale on eBay, which proves once again that the the selling season has begun for me once again on eBay. I should probably do that this way. I only sell from September 15th to February 15th
All right.
because people are buying shit pre holiday, post holiday.
I'm painting up John Constantine. I think I'll give him the blonde hair like the actual real Hellraiser.
Oh, fuck. I got to go, guys. I got to get ready for my show at 7. Bye.
Oh, gosh.
That's right. Hang on. Let me do that the right way.
Everybody done?
I got to go. All right. There we are. All right. Bye.
Bye,
Peace be with you, brother. Yeah, I'm gonna have to jet in about 7 minutes myself. The boy's gonna be home, and
well, in 4.5 minutes, it will have been 2 hours.
Nice.
Which is
always good hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Me too. Me too.
Over here.
To be honest, I probably wouldn't get much painting and stuff done if I wasn't hanging out with you guys because I end up getting distracted with other crap. But I come up here and all my shit is laid out to paint and glue and what have you. And Mini War Much Challenge has only got another like 20 days left of it, and I want to knock some stuff out for his paint challenge.
I find it's much easier for me to do painting when I'm chatting with you guys.
Me too.
It kind of takes the, I don't know, the monotony out of it.
Well,
because a lot of times painting can be very monotonous. I mean, you're just sitting there kind of doing your thing.
Yeah, I really need to be like enthused about the actual models themselves. It's got to be like something that I like. I cannot wait to freaking start putting together. But that's happening less and less. Prior to this month, I didn't paint or glue or anything since like March or April, and I got stuff coming in. I've got a whole bunch more stuff coming in. I got the Planet of the Apes that just came in. I got Dungeons and Lasers came in a couple of weeks ago. Now I'm going to have the Epic Warpath Kickstarter coming in. And that's
maybe I should put this in as a thing for mini war painters.
That's really good. Oh, hey, speaking of which, since it's nothing but us painters here, there's two of our good friends out there that need a helping hand. RPG Grandma and our good friend Dungeon Minister do not own a single bottle of wash, and they really need to learn that add that to their toolbox with as many minis and things that they do. We need to like pass the hat around or something and send them, either Army Painter or some, preferably Army Painter washes and get them some washes. So I'm going to, I don't know, start a GoFundMe or something for them.
We got Lobo, the main.
Nice. I thought that's who that was. What do you guys think?
Yeah, maybe.
I think it's badass.
This is the guy that if I were going to play a superhero, this is who I would use. That's Sabretooth.
Okay.
In a leather jacket. But Bear told me to call him something else, like Grizzly. So.
Kodiak?
I can't call him Kodiak because the guy in the group that's playing the Lobo knockoff is Kodiak.
Oh, okay.
So Kodiak has been taken. And then, of course, I've got the super patriotic American Maid.
Cool.
She's got blue, red, and white on. And you know what? The thing about superheroes is it's like the women barely have any clothes on at all.
Yeah, that's the point.
It's kind of a thing, you know? Like
wouldn't have it any other way.
Scarlet Witch doing magic. And of course, my favorite superhero. Not painted up exactly correct, but I mean, who doesn't love Power Girl?
Yeah.
She's got a window.
Yeah.
Her boots and gloves should be blue, but I painted them red because why not? And then we've got Bratpool, which is basically created in a lab from Deadpool DNA, which apparently made her crazy. This character is the one that my buddy BRC chose as his archetype for his character. And if it focuses in, you'll notice he's got the metal arm, and then you'll know who he is. Except this miniature, the metal arm's on the right side instead of the left.
Is that Winter Soldier?
Yeah. It's Winter Soldier, except they put the metal arm on the wrong side. And then, of course, the villain that they will have to fight all the time.
The Monarch?
The Monarch.
The Mighty Monarch.
And I've even ordered number 1 and number 2. Well, actually, I don't think that was their numbers, but they really wanted it to be their numbers.
Yeah, it was 21 and 24.
Yeah, they have miniatures for those guys. You can literally order Monarch henchmen. And I've got Professor Girlfriend too, so you know. But it has been this one though, I think he came out really well. Homelander, it's too bad he's an evil prick, right? And this is with the red cape. Eventually, of course, he changed to the flag cape. It's too bad he's such a prick, right? And then this is a superhero they might run into who may be against them or for them. I need to paint him more, but he's going to be called Law Dog. And the miniature, of course, is based on Judge Dredd. So I don't know if they run around and start killing a bunch of people in the middle of the city. Law Dog might show up and start whipping ass or trying to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, wasn't there a comic book called Law Dog?
I don't know. The main thing they will have to watch out for, though, is let's say they do a mission and there's a lot of collateral damage and they kill some people. And then they're back at their super hideout or whatever, which isn't really a hideout. And then lawyers start delivering, summons to come to civil court because they got to pay reparations or restitution or whatever it is, and then, they get the bill for that building that they, knocked over that they really didn't need to. Like the first thing that happened in the game, and this is like zero, is they wanted to be the East Coast Avengers. And I told them that Tony Stark sent a cease and desist.
Nice.
And they're like, what? Yeah, there's only one Avengers team, and you ain't it.
What about the West Coast Avengers?
Well, I don't know. They didn't send a cease and desist. So they changed their name to the East Coast Guardians.
Well, be careful you don't get a cease and desist from Bear.
Why? Does he have East Coast Guardians?
No, he just has the Guardians.
Oh, well. So then their whole deal is that they protect basically from Atlanta down. That's kind of their territory. Atlanta down. They don't really get involved with anything else. So, but you were right about one thing for sure, and I agreed with you, but didn't say anything. And that is that one thing I've been thinking about with these superhero games is the fact that literally, if I want to throw a T-Rex on the table and say that some villain summoned it in from somewhere, or it is a villain that just turned into a T-Rex, that is like 100% a thing,
Yep.
I could create a tier 4 or 5 villain called Dino Boy or some shit. And his whole deal is that he could be a, asshole who can turn into dinosaurs for some reason. Because
I don't get why it's not more, that genre is not more popular, especially during the era of the MCU and things like that. You would have thought that would have just exploded in the RPG community, and it didn't.
Because people like fantasy, bro.
Yeah, I get it. It's just,
that's just all there is to it. People like fantasy. They want to play fantasy. Yes, sure, superheroes are fantasy, but that's not what they care about. They want elves and dwarves. I don't know if it's like some kind of weird ancestral memory, or our society has been really, really super influenced by Tolkien, which is cool.
sure.
But it is what it is, People want to be that more than. See, for me, I ran for years also a Star Frontiers game.
What did you think of Star Frontiers after like the third year you ran it? I'm curious.
I love Star Frontiers. I do not use Zebulon's Guide to the bullshit because it made the game unwieldy, and it also tried to force you to use that stupid Spectrum system, which I'm not a fan of. But Star Frontiers, I mean, depending on how often you play it, I mean, if you played it for 3 years, I'm assuming your characters probably got their PSAs way up. Might even started maxing out some fleet skills, because you know how you got to get your technical engineering skill to 6 before you can take a piloting. So I would assume, yeah, that would be the thing. You'd have a bunch of characters with freaking,
All right, gents, I got to hit the road. Boy's going to be home any minute. You guys have a great afternoon, evening. I'll see you guys when I see you.
I guess if you had a lot of XP generated out too, Bruce, you could have a bunch of characters with like, Dex or Reflex 100,
Mm-hmm.
And maybe some people wouldn't like that, but I mean, if they spent the XP fairly, earned it fairly, and spent it fairly, then I mean, it's really nobody's business if they want to, dump it all into attributes. Of course, that means they're not dumping it in the skills. So, it just really depends then, I guess. But yeah, I like Star Frontiers. It's my second favorite sci-fi setting. And my first favorite is Traveler 2300. But, nobody wants to play that for some reason. At least not around here. But I am super excited about War Games Atlantic. They're supposedly releasing a couple of box kits specifically for Traveler 2300 that are going to have some of the military guys from that setting and the aliens and all that. And I know I'll be picking up some of that for sure. To be able to put together like a platoon of Kafers, that'll be badass. I'm definitely with that. I wonder if they'll make like Ebers and like pentapods and power armor, you know. The sad thing for me about the game is it's not sad, but I know where the pentapod come from. The pentapod aren't even 100% sure where they come from. But I know. And the thing is that the pentapod aren't even a race. They're a creation. The actual pentapods are gigantic, Lovecraftian creatures that lay on the bottom of the ocean of the homeworld. And they basically, all of their technology is bioengineered, you know? And they basically just created the pentapods and sent them out into space. You know what I mean? To be their eyes and ears and everything.
Yeah.
So if a human asks a pentapod where they come from, the pentapod say from the great beyond, or from, you know, they'll always give like some weird answer about, you know, whatever, but they never say, because pentapods never reproduce. So that's another thing. If you're a human and you hang out around pentapods all the time, eventually you're going to notice they never reproduce. And they die pretty quick. Their lifespan's not that big, right? But it's okay because the giant Cthulhu monsters that live under their ocean world can always just make more pentapods. They excrete them like bullets out of their own flesh. And then the pentapods go up onto the land and do all the bullshit that they do. Their main thing is they try to convince humans to buy equipment that's actually bioengineered. So instead of buying like a diving mask, you can buy the pentapod diving mask, which is actually a type of crab that attaches to your face and inserts something into your mouth, and then the crab turns water into oxygenated air for you to breathe. They also have another creature that they sell to humans a lot, and it's basically a living garbage disposal. It's like this weird fuzzy looking animal, and its only purpose is to eat trash. Because everything the pentapod make is biological. Their ships, their weapons, their everything is pretty much biological. Pretty much. So, a weird bunch. And then the Eber, they're on the Australian/Texas colony, and they're basically like Native Americans, except they look nothing like humans, but culturally you could make a comparison. Anyway, Bruce, my dear friend, it is time to go.
I'm sorry, James. I'm not that talkative. I'm kind of fatigued, not fatigued. You know how it is when you work 14 and a half hours.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. And it's just time for me to get out of here, go see what the wife's up to, etc.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can paint some more of these figs and be focused on it, having a conversation on site here and trying to have my hands on paints and brush and shit. And it doesn't really work much.
All right, homie. I'll talk to you later.
Hey, man, you take care, and I hope to see you tomorrow or Thursday.
Okay.
Thank you, James. Thank you, everybody, for watching.